Marianne. I do stick weaving. Buy them, I bought mine anyway, on Amazon, and you get 5 or 6 in a packet, and you can use them in 2s, 4, 6, however you want. But for what I'm going to do today, I'm only going to use 2 to show you. Normally people just make bracelets or belts. Another time I might show you that, but today I want to show you how to make a rug, which I will show you at the end of how it turns out. It's really easy and you can do it while watching the TV. Hardest thing for me is to thread the damn needles. Now they've got holes in the top and you poke your wool through. Well, you try to poke your wool through. Okay, now depending on what size you want is how much wool you need. There's your hole, it's put through. You need 2 pieces the same size. Now this will make, I'm going to make circles, which I will show you, but I don't want to make an enormous circle to start with. So I've got my 2 needles at the same side, both threaded. You have them in 2 bits like this. Can you see? Put them together. Draw your wool down to the bottom. At the bottom, you need to stop the wool going off. So you're going to do a knot, just a normal everyday knot to stop it. Can you see? Now next, normally you'd pick the same colour wool in which to start your circle. This is what we're making, and you'll see why in a moment. I'm going to use navy blue so you can see how I do it. First of all, make a little loop with a knot in, just like this little loop with a knot, and thread it. I've got all sorts on this table. Let me just move something out of the way because it's just come over. Right. You place it, you just get your 2 needles, put them in your hand, place your loop on. And you can see, there's the 2 needles. Now you're going to wind your wool under and bring it over, like a figure 8. Under, over. And you'll put your needles closer together, but it won't matter because you can tighten up. Under, over, under, over. As you can see, starts to weave down like this. Okay, under, over, under, over. There we are, just in a figure of 8. If you look, you can see it's an 8. Put it there, might be able to see better. So you continue at your own speed, go slower, and here, and you just keep doing this until it builds up. Pull some more wool out. I normally have these on the floor and something, so because I'm usually watching TV doing this, sat on a train, anywhere that'll let you do it without worrying about security. Can't do it on an aeroplane because they're pointy. Lord knows why, but you can't. Okay. And you're going to keep going, and as you do it, it will grow along the needles like this. When it gets further along, you just push it off the needles, take it right down to the bottom, and it will sit on your knot. And you do it again all the way, just keep doing the same movement, and under, over, under, over, under, over, and you'll continue until you get as much as you want on your leader threads. Now you usually take it to about here and then stop. Now I've got one ready, so I'll show you how far. This is how big I wanted this next bit because I just want a filler, but I actually made my threads a little bit longer. Now I've pushed it all down. Can you see? It's pushed down as far as it'll go. And you've got your 2 needles like this, just like this. And your wool that was attached. So what you're going to do is cut them off the needles. So there's your 2 needles, and here's your threads. Up they come like this. Push your woven bit down and grab your 2 lots and knot them like this together, as tight as you like, to stop the weaving coming off. So you can see there's your woven part. Now you can do, depending on the size you want, whether you want this size. I've done my rug all with these, with circles. I do other rugs and pictures using them in a different way, but I would show you that another day. Now, pop them there. So I want this for something specific, so it's only a small part. But normally, when you want to do a circle, you do it a bit bigger or even bigger. When you've got it to this stage, what you're going to do is get a needle and thread it, if I can find the end, with the same colour wool. It is advisable. I always use the same wool. I don't buy expensive wool. I buy good wool, but it doesn't cost me a fortune because I don't use quite a lot. For this, which I will show you in a minute, I use the equivalent of £14 worth of wool and some odds and bits of wool I had upstairs, because I have tons of odds and bits that I keep. Now I've just tied a knot in the end of my needle, so you've got it here. I'm just going to thread it through the first part of my weaving, and now I'm going to turn this over to form a little circle, put my needle through and sew it together. Turn it again, put my needle through, can you see, and sew it together, and it's forming a circle. Turn it again and sew it through. You will go through all of it again, so don't worry too much. When you get to this stage, you might want to put another stitch through and back again, ready to sew the next bit. So that one had 3. Turn your wool again, so you can see it's like a little snail. You could make a snail from one of these. Look, you could make a snail. Obviously, don't want a pink snail? Well, you could. But you could make a snail. You could make all sorts of things with it. And we're going to, again, push it through again. And then turn it again so it catches. I'm going to catch down that end piece there. Then I'm going to back sew there and there. Now I've got my circle. Just catch it in. There. So what I do now is I just go back through to firm it up and make sure it's all secure. You don't want a rug that falls to pieces. You don't want a snail that falls to pieces. You want a nice firm circle. If in a minute I'll show you, if you want it really, really round, you just push your wool in and sew it that way. If you want it more elongated, you just sew it that way. Let's just pick this up. Now, I knew I wanted a circle. I knew I wanted one this size. So I'm just going to sew off. When I start a project, what I want to do, I draw it. And when I decided to do my rug, which is a pig, I'm not great at drawing. I just drew what I wanted, was a big circle, a different colour for the snout, and that the pig would need a nose, eyes and a mouth. Here's the 2 colours so I can remember. So I keep this as a base. When I first started, I used to get wrapping paper and draw a great big one exactly the size as I wanted on cheap wrapping paper on the back of it. But now I sort of work from the guide of this and make it as big as I want. So put him there. I don't need these at the moment, so I'll put them there. I can't remember how much they were. I bought them from that company that begins with an A, has a Z in it, and you can just about everything except for a new grandma from it. But they're wonderful because it has everything you want. Now this isn't enough wool for what I need to show you next, so I'll get rid of that. Get a new piece of wool. When you have your circles, which I have some spare ones, I always do too many because I'll use them to make another different rug. I have to do that because I cannot possibly see to thread this. Old age, it creeps up on you all the time. Right, I'm going to put a knot and I'm going to show you what you do when you want to form what I have made, which I'm just going to move that out of the way and show you. Oops. This is who I made. This is my pig rug. Can you see him? I am just, the bit you saw me make is just going to be a filler for there to even the sides up, because I decided it was slightly bigger on this side than that side. But I do measure in between, so you can see this is the nose done in a different colour. So what I did was I just kept doing my lengths a bit longer, did the amount, then did a longer one, sewed it in until I got the size I wanted. Then I over sewed round the snout so you can see it, loop sewed for the nose, blanket stitch for the mouth, and I did two tiny little bits like this for the eyes when I weaved, and just folded them in and sewed them on. Simple as that. The ears, I made them the same way as this. I just did the dark pink first in a length, and then I did the light pink, and then I sewed them together, but I shaped them as I sewed them and pulled harder so you get the pig shape. Once you've got the shape, you can sew it in malleable and make it malleable to how you want it. So he's a really cute rug. They're really thick, if you can see, really soft. And you put them in the washing machine on a wool wash. And the wool I use, which at the end, I'll put what wool I use so you can see, works wonderfully. I've made butterflies, I've made snowman from Frozen, I've made lots and lots of rugs over the year. But somebody asked me, could I put it on YouTube so they can see what you can make? They're lovely, they're really soft, and everybody loves them. So when you're making them and putting them together and you've got your design, you need to get the circles. You put them together like this. Let me move Pico out of the way so you can see. Put them together. Now, how I start, work out my circle, but I need the bottom end first. So we start off what would be the outer circle. Put my needle in, 2. You'll see 1, 2 lines. Pull it through. Then put them together like this. Okay, and put your needle back through and go right the way through this again to 2. See, 1, 2. And put them through this one, 1, 2 to secure them. Right, ready? 1, 2, and pull it back up. Pull. Just hold it down. Don't sew your fingers in. So, and then we go in the next stage, just beside it. 1, 2, 1, 2 up, and pull. And you do it again next to it. 1, 2, 1, 2, Can you see? My fingers might be in the way. So you just watch, pop it in, 2, 1, 2, push your needle up if you can see, and pull it through. And you can see it's starting to secure. When you've done it as far as you want, push your new, I'll just do one more there. Okay, tighten it off. Push your needle through to the other side. It's the same colour, so it doesn't matter how you do it. And the way it goes, you won't see how you've done it. Go through here into 2, the other side, and then back through 2, through another 2. You can see your lines, 1, 2, 1, 2. Push up, needle, don't prick yourself, and tighten. And then beside it again, 2 and 2. It's the securest way. You don't need to go right through this lot when you're doing this. And then 2 again, and then 2 again. So you can see. Now, when you get to here, and you've got 2, they're really quite firm, you can add another one to it. So if you decide to do 2 all the way around, on the bottom, before you start the nozzle, is nose, snout, whatever you want to call it, you can do that. What I tend to do, you can sew this one to here, then you can sew another one on and start forming. What I tend to do is, I do about 20 or 30, get my design, lay them out on the table and decide how I'm going to sew them. When I'm doing the nose bit, I would do that separately. When I've got my 20 or 30 done, put that first and then attach all of these onto the nose bit. You can do it any way you want. It's up to you how you do it. This, as I'm doing this now, I'm thinking of making it into a flower rug. So I've got a few more of these done. I've got some lovely red. I've got all different colours. I'll sit and do some, form a middle, and then if you can see, I have some more here. You can start like this and put a different colour in. If you want, you work out like the pig and put some elongated petals out, a different colour. And then, or you can do another colour of round ones, then elongated. Just however big you want. Start how you want and you can stop when you want. And just build up. Lay it out, decide, and then start sewing. So have fun. I'll come back on my next project and show you. I'll also show you things like bracelets and belts, but everybody does them. There's another way to put them together, which I'm going to make a dinosaur next. So I'll show you, it won't all be done in circles. So when I do my dinosaur, I'll come back on and show you my dinosaur. A lot of my rugs, most of my rugs I've given away as presents. So I don't have them to show you, but I have made lots and lots of different rugs and I absolutely love them and I love making them. So have fun, buy yourself some stick weaving pins. I think you can get them in America in craft shops, but I know I had to send to that place beginning in an A with a Z in it to get mine. They came really quick and I love them. So try a new hobby, make a rug, give it a present and voila, have fun. Bye.